as to where the shots entered his body. They entered his body on the back side.
Yes.
His back was turned to the officer. And more importantly, he was not threatening with a weapon of any kind.
Anyway.
These two guys were grappling, there's no doubt about it. Now, if there was a gun was found later on the ground. But in terms of what the officer saw, the question is, what caused the officer to believe that he should have shot this particular person? He had no information, none, that Sahleem was in the process of trying to hurt someone, or trying to shoot anyone, or to use deadly force on anyone, or to endanger he or the officer's lives. That's the basis upon which you can shoot, an officer can shoot. Whatever happened before, we don't really know, but obviously there was a fight that was going on. But in terms of the officer's ability and legal basis to shoot, he did not have that at the time, because these two men, you couldn't tell who was doing what. They essentially were fighting, grappling, wrestling an old-fashioned street way. And they couldn't even get punches out. They were so close to each other. One was in a headlock, one was in a body lock. And so the officer didn't take the necessary time or take the course that was necessary to find out, to break these people apart, give commands for them to break apart. And as they did break apart, he fired and he shot Sahleem in the back several times. And he had no information before he did that, but Sahleem, in fact, was holding a gun, pointing a gun, attempting to use a gun, using deadly force of any kind. So what was the basis for the use of deadly force? None that I could see. So here is just the location of where the shooting took place. Right in here, you know. And Sahleem's friend was there, standing. She was essentially 3 to 4 feet away. She did not see any gun. She was on the opposite side where the officer was. And so even she says, don't shoot. The officer shot anyway. And there was Sahleem with his eyes wide open, his back falling out, quizzically looking, why'd you shoot me? And he was obviously in a very bad way. So the reason why I think it's important for the family and everyone in this community to come forward out here, because there was a narrative that was presented by the police that was false. And because it was false, you need direct evidence to demonstrate what was actually true. And the video does that. And so it may be disturbing to many, but to the extent that the police use that to give to the media to indicate that a certain narrative take place, then the video should be released so that everyone could see what actually happened.
Release the video!
So that is a position that we have very strongly. I've also, because of what I have seen, have filed a claim with the BART police, advising them that the violation of Sahleem's civil rights had occurred, as well as the rights of his family. And this is particularly difficult because not only did he have mom and girlfriend, he had 2 small kids. And he had a boy and a girl, and who were there, who were across the street. Because this is a situation where people were going to BART. They were getting ready to have a family outing. And you're walking and you get accosted by someone, and next thing you know, you're dead. That should not happen. That should not happen. So all I'm saying all to you is that the protest here is a legitimate effort to get to the truth and get to the justice that the family and everyone deserves. And so therefore we again demand that the video is released. So those are my thoughts about it, and I'm glad that you're all here. It's an outrageous, senseless, panicky, if you will, that better judgment would have dictated that a different approach would have followed, attempting to determine what, in fact, you could see and who did what. And granted, there were views that shots had been fired earlier, but you didn't know who fired those shots, and you don't know who was injured at the time you arrived on the scene, and you took Sahleem's life, which was totally wrong and totally outrageous. Thank you. Okay?